All right, everybody, welcome to the B&O. Isn't this a great place, this great museum of art?
There's a treasure here in Baltimore. Great to be with you. I'm Jamie Costello from ABC 2 News. Hausner's, gone. The Belloc, gone. Royal Furniture, gone. Memorial Stadium, gone. Places that moved us to tears. But tonight, we're moved to cheers to celebrate a place that has moved all of us. Raise your hand if you've been moved by Von Paris one time in your life. Look, unanimous. This place has moved us all, but they refuse to leave. Von Paris is 125 years old. And to get us moving tonight, let's bring up past President and Chairman Bill Wachter. Bill.
In 1892, an ambitious German immigrant with a young and growing family purchased 2 horses, a double-team wagon, and went into the moving business in East Baltimore, moving families around the Hollandtown neighborhood. That man was Eligius Von Paris, my great-grandfather. Thus was born Von Paris Moving and Storage, which has become one of the largest and most respected moving and storage firms in Maryland and the Mid-Atlantic area. I'm proud to say that after 125 years, Von Paris is still owned, managed by members of the Von Paris family through the 5th generation and even some youngsters in the 6th. You might not know it, but the typical family business fails between the 2nd and 3rd generation. So our longevity has defied all odds. So on behalf of the Von Paris family and all the great people working in this organization, I want to thank all of you for coming out tonight to celebrate this momentous event in the history of our company. And to all those who have supported us over the past 125 years, we extend our sincerest gratitude.
Great job, Bill. Our next guest speaker, he's the greatest from John Carroll, Towson University. Where's Tippy tonight? Is Tippy here yet? You want to go? Yeah, you go up there. Tippy, stand up. Let me tell you a story, Tip. This guy used to pitch. Yeah. Tippy Martinez, everybody. Tip, we played ball together. John Von Paris used to stand on the mound, and I'd get up and he'd jam me. Time and time. I could never extend my arms, never get out there. And he'd tip your hat, and I'd tip it back, and he'd strike me out every damn time. This guy can play. John Von Paris. And here he is, a little guy. When you ask anybody, hey, I need somebody to help me move this weekend, everybody's out of town. John says, I'll do it. What a great family. Patty, stand up for being with John for 127 years. And recently, real quick, John sent me an email about his Von Paris moving truck. He wanted to do something for the folks in Houston. So a few weeks ago, with your help, we loaded, one of the biggest tractor trailers that has ever left the East Coast, and took it down to Houston to help out the folks because of this man, John Von Paris. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a happy time? Here's the man, the president, CEO, Johnny Von Paris.
There we go. Thank you, Jamie. I'll tell you, isn't Jamie Costello the best in the business? How about Jamie? Good evening, everyone. I would like to thank all of you for being here tonight, our customers, friends, dignitaries, cabinet members, appointed officials, members of our board, management team, and family. I would like to especially thank Governor Larry Hogan and First Lady Yumi Hogan for spending the evening with all of us. Governor Hogan, thank you for everything you do for the people of Maryland and also for your support of Maryland businesses. First Lady Yumi Hogan, you represent Maryland with class and grace. We are honored to have both of you here to help us celebrate this special occasion. You both are doing an exceptional job, and although Von Paris was honored to handle your move to Government House a couple of years ago, we have no plans whatsoever to handle any moving from the Hogans from Annapolis over the next 6 years. The Most Reverend William Edward Laurie, Archbishop of Baltimore, is with us this evening. Archbishop, thank you for being part of this celebration. You are an inspiration to all of us. We are fortunate to have you as a leader in our community. Your leadership with the Partners in Excellence program, also known as PI, is changing the lives of thousands of children in our community. I am proud to serve on the PI board, and I encourage everyone to check out the PI Scholarship Program and to get involved if you can. As a family of faith, it has been a tradition since the beginning of our business to open our corporate board meetings with a prayer. Our faith has been one of the cornerstones of our family business. Archbishop Laurie has offered to provide a blessing this evening. We thank you, and we ask that you come forward at this time for a blessing.
And let us pray. Good and gracious God, we praise and thank you as we gather in this historic place to celebrate the 125th anniversary of Von Paris Moving and Storage. We thank you for this family and this organization that has been a mainstay of our community for so many years and has done in our community a world of good. Bless this family and bless all of those who carry forward the mission of Von Paris. May it continue to not only endure but flourish for many, many years to come. Bless our governor and bless Mrs. Hogan. Bless our appointed and elected officials who serve our state of Maryland. Help us to be a place of justice and peace and opportunity and of love for each and every one of our citizens. We thank you, Lord, for everybody who is here tonight to celebrate, those who in any way are connected with Von Paris. We ask you to bless them, bless their families and loved ones. And now, Lord, we ask you to bless our conversation and friendship and food as we say, bless us, Lord, in these thy gifts, which we are about to receive or have received from thy bounty. And we pray in thy holy name, amen. God bless you. Have a terrific evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Archbishop Laurie. The success of our family business is not about one person. It is about a team working together for a common goal. Behind every picture of a truck are thousands of moves. A new family moving into their first home. A couple retiring to Florida. A military member shipping household goods overseas. Or an expanding business moving into a larger facility. All of these moves represent a new chapter in the lives of the people we serve. We are thankful for each and every opportunity. These successful moves are a direct result of having a talented, hardworking, and dedicated team. On June 14th, we lost a dear member of the fourth generation, Arthur G. Feeney, Jr. Art grew up in the business and dedicated his life to the company. His mother was born Marie Von Paris, the oldest member of the third generation. His father worked in the business until he tragically died when Art was just 13 years old. Art was the oldest member of my generation. He worked in all areas of the business from the ground up, and later he served as president and chair. Art was the poster child for what it means to be dedicated to a family business. For this reason, and in memory of Art, tonight we have renamed the company's highest service award, the 5-Star Pro Award, to the Arthur G. Feeney Jr. 5-Star Pro Award. Art's children, Peggy and Butch, are here, and his sister, Kathy, are here as well. Would you please stand to be recognized? Peggy. Art will always be remembered by our company. I would like to thank our anniversary committee for organizing and planning this event, especially Peggy Feeney, Jackie Newby, and my sister Ann McMahon. Thank you for a job well done. Last but certainly not least, I would like to recognize my uncle, Lee Von Paris. Lee is the youngest and last remaining member of the third generation. He holds the title of Chairman Emeritus. He had a remarkable career spanning 70+ years in the business. Lee worked in various capacities, including president and chair, and he also served as our in-house legal counsel. Uncle Lidge, as he is affectionately known within the family, is our patriarch. Uncle Lidge, would you please stand to be recognized? Thank you. And finally, we have a short video to share a glimpse of what the Von Paris family business is all about. Thank you.
That's a 125-year history in 8 minutes.
That was great, John. If you're a Von Paris or you're married
To one, stand up and take a bow. All the VPs, stand up. Outstanding. How proud you should be. That is great. Inside baseball, also, John's son just went into the John Carroll Hall of Fame. Junior, you here tonight? Where's John Jr.? Stand up. There he is at the bar. Very good. Nice to find. You know, with my job, I have the honor of interviewing governors. I've interviewed Marvin, Harry, Don, Paris, Bob, Martin, and now Larry. But in all my years, I never thought I'd see the day when a Republican governor named a road after a Republican governor in Montgomery County. This is incredible. I attended the Taws Crab Festival down in Crisfield, And I watched the governor take one step through the gate. It was 1 o'clock. I looked at my watch, 1 o'clock. At 3:03, he took his next step. He couldn't move because all of us were swarming in on him, asking him questions, telling him to do this, do that. He smiled, he took pictures. It was incredible. For 2 hours, the man never moved. And now he is right here with us tonight. And now a man that might not be able to move a piano, but he can move a state. To make us move in and never move out because our schools are good, Amazon's here. Oh, that's next year. I'm sorry, next year. And we are all safe and the Bay is beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, left, right, left in 2 minutes, your governor, our governor, the great governor, Larry Hogan.
Very, very much. Thank you so much. Please. Thank you. Good evening. Jamie, thank you very much for that introduction, but I can move a piano. I don't know what would make you think I couldn't, but thank you very much. It's really great to be here with all of you tonight to help celebrate this incredible anniversary. As John mentioned, when I was elected governor, Von Paris Moving and Storage did our move. In fact, John personally supervised the move. I don't know if he does that for all of the people that are moving, but he certainly came out and took great care of us. And this was, First Lady and I were relocating into the governor's mansion in Annapolis. And you may have heard that there were 54 pieces of furniture missing when we moved in. So we didn't want to waste any tax dollars, and we just brought all of our, let's call it well-worn furniture from our house in Edgewater. But thank you so much for making that possible. And John, I want to promise you that when we move, we're definitely going to use Von Paris again. But thank you for saying that we have no intention of moving for another 6 years. So thank you very, very much. It's really an honor to be here to celebrate with you tonight this incredible 125th anniversary of Von Paris Moving and Storage. What an incredible Maryland and American business success story. The video was incredible and said most of the things I was going to tell you about the company, but couldn't say it nearly as good as the video did. But what started as a small East Baltimore company with a horse and a wagon has grown into one of the most respected moving companies, not only in Maryland and America, but really in the world. And the Von Paris Moving and Storage, as you saw from the video, really pioneered long-distance motorized moving in the early 1900s. They survived the Great Depression, World War II, and countless other challenges over the course of the last 125 years. And today, Von Paris has taken its place among the very few American companies to grow and thrive for more than a century under the ownership and management of one incredible family. Lee Von Paris is with us tonight. You got to cheer him earlier tonight, and I got a chance to talk with him. But he's representing the third generation of Von Paris, and now I believe there's at least 15 members of the fourth generation, maybe even a few from the fifth generation that are now joining. It's just incredible that many folks from the family are still working in the family business to this day, alongside all of the great employees and drivers of the company who I know are treated just like family, even if they're not members of the family. And you know, they've just grown together as an incredible team to ensure this Von Paris name continues to be relied upon for first-rate quality and for outstanding customer service. In 125 years, Von Paris Moving and Storage has built up quite an impressive resume, some of which you heard in the film, but the company assisted with the personal moving needs of 3 American presidents, 3 of my favorites, Ronald Reagan, George H.W. Bush, and George W. Bush. And who knows, they might even get a chance to move a president from their home state of Maryland because as you know, Congressman John Delaney and former Governor Martin O'Malley are both running for president. So I'm sure they would choose Von Paris if they got the opportunity. But it wasn't Von Paris that moved the Colts out of Baltimore in the middle of the night. I can promise you that. But it was Von Paris that helped bring football back to Baltimore when they moved the entire Ravens NFL franchise from Cleveland to right here in Charm City. And they also moved the Ravens to and from 2 Super Bowl championships. They moved the Baltimore Orioles 25 years ago into Camden Yards. And just an incredible resume that we could talk about all night. But one of the highlights of my job and one of the things I enjoy the most is seeing businesses grow and expand their footprint here in Maryland. And I especially enjoy it when we can get a chance to help recognize a great Maryland company like Von Paris that has shown such loyalty and commitment to our state. And for 125 years now, Von Paris Moving and Storage has been one of those truly outstanding leaders, not only with the great services that they provide and the jobs that they create for our citizens, but also for their commitment to giving back to the community. And, you know, we saw some of that on the video, and, you know, their sponsorship of the annual Bring a Book Day, and you saw some of the help they provide during the hurricanes when they transported, you know, trailer loads of relief supplies to the victims of both Hurricane Sandy and Katrina, and recently to those affected by Hurricane Harvey and Irma. And it is that kind of dedication, caring, and giving back to our communities that makes Von Paris even more special. I just want to say congratulations to the entire Von Paris family, the entire Von Paris Moving and Storage team on a great 125 years. And John, if you come back up here, I'd like to present a governor's citation to officially recognize this incredible historic milestone for 125 years. So thank you.
Somebody just want to say, no, I was telling him I got a lot of compliments tonight. As I was strolling around, I got a lot of compliments tonight. And after I met Governor, I said, as I went around, different people said, you know what? It's amazing. You do not look 125 years old. And I said, well, I took good care of myself. So anyway, I've heard that. Thanks again for everybody that came tonight, and especially you, Governor. Okay.
And look at all these proclamations I'm going to read word by word. And now, here we go. Whereas, thereas, here we go. How about this? Senator Ben Cardin sends his well wishes from Washington on your 125th anniversary. John, hey, Patty, come on up here too. Come on. That's one. Another one. This is from Von Paris Moving and Storage. I offer a hearty 125th anniversary congratulations. Harper County Executive Barry Glassman. Remember to pay your taxes. A secretary citation today from Mike Gill. Let me tell you, out of all your cabinet members, this guy is the greatest. Mike Gill is he will make you want to stay in Maryland forever and ever, bring businesses in. Mike Gill, and Frank, where's Mike? Where did he graduate from? That's right. Oh. Here's the next one. From Certificate of Special Recognition, Dutch Rupersberger. How about that? That's great. You can read these when you get home tonight. This is fun, huh? Here's another certificate of recognition. Congratulations on behalf of Howard County Executive Alan Kittleman. How about that? We have a couple more here. Another certificate, official citation, and this is signed by the Howard County Council and Legislative District. There you go. And here's trash. There you go. Congratulations. Way to go. You were wrong right now. From the Ravens, Kevin, come on up. I saw Kevin here earlier. Kevin's got a special presentation, John. Kevin, here he comes. From your Baltimore Ravens.
Thank you very much. Well, the one thing about our organization is that it takes a lot of people to move a football team. And with the Super Bowls and everything that we do, the Von Paris family is very well entrenched in the Ravens organization. And so every week, these folks work hand in hand to get our football team ready to go and load the aircraft and get it to an away game. And the same thing with home games, is getting everything down to M&T Bank Stadium. So it's a very diligent task that works, and every year it's done on time, and we have no problems at all. So when you look at Von Paris, we look at them as a great partner, a wonderful organization, and when John talked to us about this, we had to do something that was really special for them and thank them. So on behalf of Steve Bisciotti and the entire Ravens organization, we'd like to present something to John, so come on up. The one thing about Von Paris too is that a lot of our records are kept in the records management division. So we went back in the archives from 1995, and we'll show you right here. We found the letters from 1995 when John sent it to Bob Eller, our operations director back in the time. They do say personal and confidential, but we think we've left the 21 years, we can let that go. But we have a gift for you. So the encryption inside says, to the team that moved the football back to Baltimore, just like the governor said.
I just want to comment on this. Thank you very much, Kevin, and the entire Ravens organization. This is a team effort, literally and figuratively. And is Mark Von Paris here? Mark? There he is, right there. Stand up, Mark, stay up. And is David here? David, come here, David. Mark and David, come here, please. Come on up real quick. These two guys. Is Steve Gosman here?
No, he's on the way to Oakland.
Steve's on his way to Oakland to help the Ravens. But Mark and David Von Paris are always there to take care of the Ravens, and they're the ones that get them to the each venue, each city, each week, and back safely. These guys are the heroes right here. These guys that deserve all the credit right here. Mr. John.
Is great. We want to bring up Bill Lyon and Andy Kroll, who are the bosses of North American Van Lines. Bill, Andy, come on up.
This is big. This is big. You got to talk
The Ravens now. That's tough. That's tough.
A tough act to follow, that's for darn sure. Good evening, everybody. I'm Andy Kroll. I'm the Vice President and General Manager of North American Van Lines. And on behalf of North American Van Lines and our staff and our agent network all around the world, we want to congratulate the Von Paris family and organization for 125-year anniversary. And also thank you for inviting us here and allowing us to be part of this beautiful event and remarkable milestone. North American Van Lines and the Von Paris family has a relationship that goes back a long, long, long way. And you saw a lot of photos of that earlier here today. Somewhere around just after World War II, I believe it is. And they've just been a remarkable partner of ours ever since. I personally haven't, I've only been working with them for about 3 years. I've known the Von Paris family for about 3 years. And it didn't take me long to figure out, you know, what sustained their longevity and what their organization is all about. I mean, I quickly learned working with John and his staff that this business is a lot more than just a job to them. It's a calling. It's a passion. It's a calling to serve. At their core, they're all about serving others. And that certainly should be recognized here tonight, and it certainly has been so far. And there's a lot of companies out there that you know, try to leverage the service story. But the truth of the matter is, in our industry, the moving and storage industry, we touch people at some of the most stressful times of their lives, right, John? And you know, they remember that for the rest of their lives. They remember the great service and the great move. And you know, North American Van Lines and our agent network around the world really wouldn't have the privilege to do those type of things if it wasn't for organizations like the Von Paris Moving and Storage and their family. So again, I want to say congratulations to a remarkable milestone. Thank you so much for what you do, and I want to wish you many, many, many more years of success. Thank you.
Our next guest, I can't say enough about this man because I've said it. I think over the last 3 years, John, I've been the MC of about 19 events to give him an award from some charity here in Baltimore, some foundation that he has helped. And I always remember when he gives his speech, you don't have to give $1,000, you just have to give 1,000 seconds. Give of your time. The great Senator Kelly is here tonight. Senator Kelly, come on up.
I'm not giving you an award tonight, I feel.
What a great honor and privilege it is for me to be here tonight. I admire this Von Paris family so much. When Janet and I moved to Maryland, we loved this state. We wanted to sink our roots deep into Maryland and start a business in the basement of our home in 1976. We started out with a lot of little clients. Our first big client was Von Paris Moving and Storage 38 years ago. They've been clients. I've had the privilege of working, I think it was Bonnie and George and Lee and Bill Wachter and Art Feeney and now John. I hope I haven't missed anybody. But you know, it's very hard to have a family business to pass from the first to the second generation. I think it's like maybe 3% of them pass to the second. To the third, it's even less. We're now into our third generation. But the one thing, one quality, if you see family business that lasts, the Chick-fil-A's and business like that, the one ingredient they have is a very strong faith in God. And they build their business around biblical principles and faith and trust in God. And you can see what you do when you trust in God. 125 years. God bless the Von Paris family, and I hope we can catch up with you someday.
I believe, do we have anybody from the Orioles here tonight? Yes, we do. Hey, there they are. Hey, Buck and Dan Duquette. Way to go. Hey.
I'm Marco from the Orioles. This is Steve from the Corporate Partnerships Department. And on behalf of the Orioles and the Angelos family, we want to thank Von Paris for a 60-plus year partnership dating back to the inaugural season in 1954. As one of our inaugural partners, you really define that term. You mean a lot to us. Your friendship, your partnership. You do so much for our organization. There's a bunch of people here from the team today, whether it's from the clubhouse staff or the Bird, community relations. You do, John and the Von Paris family, you do so much for us, whether it's 25 years ago moving the team to Oriole Park, whether it's going down to spring training and back every year with that big move every February and March, whether it's with our community relations department and the canned food drive every year. You mean so much to us, and we greatly appreciate everything you've done for us and continue to do for us over the years. We brought a few little gifts for you today. If you want to come on up, John. A Manny Machado bat, which hopefully you can put in your collection with all your other great Orioles memorabilia. And then a gift for you.
It's like Christmas, John. Go ahead. No.
So again, on behalf of the Orioles and the Angelos family, thank you so much for all you do for us, John. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marco and Steve. And again, I can just call David and Mark Von Paris up here, because they're the guys that take care of the Orioles most of the time. So they really deserve a lot of credit. Mark and David. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, look what you did here tonight. Governor's here, Archbishop's here. You pretended to be the Pope up here. That was pretty impressive. We brought the Ravens, the Orioles, and all of you 125 years. There's nothing better than I love about our state and our Baltimore area is that we stay where we're raised, and we raise where we stay, and we keep doing this. Thank you for being here. Let's eat, let's mingle, and let's be great, okay? John, you want to kiss it off? Well, you did it all. You did it all. How about that? I know these gifts are going to be great. Thank you, everybody, and let's see it 150 years.
Thank you. Yep, I'm sorry.
Von Paris. Just want to say congratulations to 125. I remember I started when I was 16 years old. My father, Bill Wachter, former president, said, "You're not sitting around the house all summer, you're going to get a job." My older brother, Nick Wachter, he's 13 months older than me. He had two positions, one in the office and one in the warehouse. Well, seniority won out. Nick got the office and I got the warehouse job. But I'm happy with that. I did okay. Met a lot of great people, learned a lot about myself, learned a lot about hard work, what it takes to actually accomplish a task and set your mind to something and really commit to doing a job and doing it right. I may have learned the wrong way to do things before I learned the right way, but I turned out all right. Right now I'm actually helping to manage the VPOM, Von Paris Office Moving Logistics Warehouse. Very proud of that. Still a member of this 125-year legacy. Proud of that. I'll tell you one funny story. I might have been the only Von Paris family member to be this close to being disowned. I was driving the forklift one day and they had the pump house door was being worked on. There was water on the floor. I'm on full speed on this forklift and I hit this water and I'm hydroplaning. I'm like, I'm gonna crash. There's a brick wall right here. On the other side is the 1919 Selden truck. You probably saw it. Tim's got footage. Selden truck, the original moving truck. All I'm thinking is if I barrel through this wall and I hit this truck, I'm gonna be the only Von Paris not allowed at the company ever again. Thankfully, accident avoided. It was just a little wall repair. I'm still here. Things are good. Truck is in good shape. Congratulations to everybody, my family, my friends, my co-workers. 125 years, keep it up. Very proud of you. Congratulations.
I'm Bill Wachter. I worked at Von Paris all through high school and college during the summer. And when I graduated from Maryland in 1969, I started working full-time. And I stayed there for my entire career. So I've never worked any place else but Von Paris. At one point in my career, I was the manager of our Arnold office, which is near Annapolis. And a funny little story, one day we had a move in Annapolis and along around noon or so, the customer called and they were complaining about one of the men on the job. So it was my job to try to diffuse the situation and remove this man from the job. So I wasn't sure who it was, but I drove out there. I greeted the customer and I said, "I'm taking the guy out." Well, as luck would have it, he was a temporary employee, not one of our regulars, and I didn't know his name. So I took him aside and I said, "What's your name?" And he said, "Nunya." And I said, "Nunya what?" He says, "Nunya business." So not knowing his name, I still removed him from the job, and ultimately, the job finished and went well. But that was my funny story. None your business.
Hi, I'm Peggy Feeney. I am the oldest of the 5th generation. My dad was Art Feeney, who we lost earlier this year. And my grandmother was Marie Feeney, the oldest of the 3rd generation. I've worked at Von Paris for 29 years, and I'm very happy to still be there, and I've risen through the ranks, and I'm now Executive Vice President. But Tim Cup wants me to tell a funny story. So I worked with Bill Wachter for about 20-some years, and he can be deceivingly a lot of fun to work with. Anytime I would leave my office to go to the bathroom or down the hall, he would rearrange something in my office or hide behind the door or jump out at me. And one time I kept going through a lot of staples, and I kept every time I would go to staple something, there was no staples at my stapler. So after a month, I said, "Something's wrong here." And he said, "I've been waiting for you to realize I keep taking all your staples out of your stapler." He had a whole box of staples. So you would know, in the work setting how he's very serious, but after working with him for a long time, he was a lot of fun to be with and work with. So he was my boss, my dad was my boss, and now John Von Paris is the president of the company, and I work great with him as well. It's an honor to work and carry on the legacy of our family's company, and I'm so proud that we made it to 125 years today. And there's a lot of people that came before us and contributed to this, the third and fourth generation, and have sacrificed a lot to get us to where we are today. So I'm very humble and proud.
Worried about my shoes, and I fished these shoes out of a dumpster today. Right.
All right, so in case anybody's wondering about my shoes, these are Brooks Brothers shoes. 9.5, and I picked them out of the dumpster at Savage. I went dumpster diving one day, that's right. And these are probably $400 shoes. Cost me 5 minutes of my personal time. And that's how I'm able to look so good here tonight.
Thank God for
Thank God. Thank God for junk luggers.
Hi, I'm Mark McMahon. As far as a funny story for the company, there have been many crazy stories, but one in particular, when I was just starting out with the company, Jody got me out of the warehouse and he said, he said, "Hey Chief, I want you to go out and help Roger and David go out and do this move, last minute move. Chief, just try to do the best you can, take trash bags and pack the stuff up." So we went out to this lady's house, and unfortunately her son was having a schizophrenic episode. And we went in, we threw things in trash bags. She was very scared and wanted to get it out of the house, so we were throwing things in trash bags, and we said, "Is your son here?" And she said, "Yeah, he's upstairs." So, you know, we tried to stay downstairs as long as we could. We went upstairs, everything was done but the room that he was in. He was in the room, he was naked, hiding under the covers. And the way the story went was he had come out of the bathroom, or out of the bedroom and into the bathroom. At the same time, I was carrying a piece of furniture down with one of our helpers, David, and I was backing the dresser, a triple dresser, down the steps. At the head of the steps was the man having the manic episode. So, but David didn't know that. So I had the dresser on my shoulder and I said, "David, back up real quick, back up." So David started backing up into the bathroom without knowing, and I kept saying, "Back up," and David was saying, "What's going on?" And then I put my shoulder into the dresser. At the same time, this man said, "Don't come into the bathroom." So I held him there for about a minute, and he was so upset with me. But I was a kid. I was 20 years old, and you know, we tried to have fun. So I love the company. I've been with them for 25 years, and I hope another 25 years. God bless Von Paris. We do a great job for people. Thank you.
Okay, well, I'm glad to welcome everybody to this family occasion on the 125th anniversary of our company. As you look around and have met all the cousins and aunts and uncles and relatives and heard about our grandparents, it's a special gift that we all had to be associated in this family business. Not only as employees where we made our living out of the company, but also having our love and affection as family members. It's what made it so special. And that was handed down right at the beginning from our grandparents to us. So we're extremely blessed to have had that legacy, which means it's been more than a job, it's even more than a family. It's a way of life that was inspired by God and handed down through our ancestors. So I'm very proud to be associated with the business. I'm serving on a board right now. I didn't spend my career in the business, but my brothers did and my cousins did, and I'm very happy to be associated with the company, and I'm very grateful and give credit to all our parents and aunts and uncles and everybody who had such an important role in making the company what it is today. God bless.
Do you have any funny stories from your time?
Plenty of funny stories. I think one of the most interesting stories that's not only funny but heartwarming is when I was 15 years old and I wasn't even legally permitted to work yet. I had to be working under the radar screen. Uncle George let me work in the warehouse, and he ran a tab on how much my pay would be, and then when I was able to get a permit, he said he would settle up with me. Well, here I am 15 years old working over in the warehouse, and by 6 o'clock in the evening, you're pretty tired and you're ready to end the day. Well, here Uncle George comes over, taking his shirt and tie off, and it was about 6:15, and he says, "You don't have to get right home, do you?" And I said, "Well, no, because I'm riding with you." Uncle George was my ride back and forth. He says, "We have another job to do. The moving crew didn't finish up in time, and we got one more move job to do before the end of the day." So here Uncle George, who sat in an office all day and was an executive, they ran out of crews, and at 6 o'clock, because the people were still waiting for the truck, he took his suit and tie off, came out into the warehouse, got me, and we went out and got a truck, and the two of us made a move job from about 6 o'clock till 10 o'clock that night, but we got the people moved.
I hope you were off the next day.
Well, I was. Uncle George, though, that was the way he was. The duty and the service and the obligation to the customer always came first. And I used to tell that story to my kids about dedication and what it meant to be, committed to your job, and that it was more than a job, it was a way of life. And that's the way Uncle George taught us every day of our lives. Very grateful for that.